The DesertX Rally is arguably the most capable and road-legal off-road bike that Ducati has built in recent memory. Conceived initially as a proper adventure bike, the Rally takes its base from the regular DesertX with its motocross-sourced long-travel suspension, improved ground clearance, among many other updates to its previous incarnations such as more rugged yet lighter wheels and a more robust body, for example. It shares the same basic engine and chassis as the regular DesertX, which currently does a rather good job on both paved and dirt roads, as well as the Rally. The fact of the matter is that Ducati needed a better off-road machine that would also allow them to sell the regular model to a more street-oriented consumer base. Stronger, more capable, and a little more luxurious. Which they have, just about. The DesertX Rally is a beast of an off-road machine, its suspension and chassis options combining to allow riders to carve up the dirt with remarkable assurance and precision. Fitted with nothing more than a set of dirt-leaning Scorpion Rally off-road tires homologate for use on the Rally. No less, it really does feel like a race machine. Its poise and precision in the sand are off jumps that of a motocrosser half its weight. That great, high handlebar is attached impressively well up front. On the tarmac, however, it still manages a stunning amount of functionality with its liveliness, friendly engine, and compliance in its suspension. Extra height and lighter hoops make it an agile brute at both high and low velocities, but there isn't a great deal of offensive dive through those really long forks. The 937cc Testostretta motor remains a delightful road drive, too smooth and urbane in the low power mode, and keen and willing with the more direct throttle response of sport mode. It's worth noting that the 910mm seat height may be off-putting to those of shorter leg length, and the stand itself has no lugs or hooks for effortlessly raising or lowering. Sure, it is pricey, very tall, and not the most comfortable to ride a mile on, but the DesertX Rally's unparalleled off-road capabilities, and its updated suspension, wheels, and fine-tuning really do take adventure biking to another level altogether. The regular model will still suit road riders better, especially if seat height may be an issue. On the other hand, Ducati has built one of the finest high-capacity off-road adventure bikes available in any showroom right now if you're looking for something that will also take all the knocks off-road riding can throw at it. Whereas the standard DesertX is still pretty fine, the Rally's upgraded KYB setup really does make all the difference in terms of off-road feel and handling. Even though the chassis is essentially the same, the suspension is considerably different from the normal model. The KYB forks have now increased their length by 20mm and thickness by 2mm. They also feature a closed cartridge system, a common technique on motocross and enduro motorcycles. It keeps pressure on the feedback rod to keep it steady, especially when things become rough. The standard DesertX had a 40mm piston, while the upgraded KYB shock gets a bigger 46mm piston with a bladder pressurization mechanism. Unlike many larger off-road vehicles, the KYB fork and shock combine for plenty of support but are also very progressive in their travel, making it seem less weighty at high speeds. It's almost magic because the bike never falters, ironing out big bumps and jumps with the grace of a motocross bike. Comfort and naturalness of posture have been improved, too, courtesy of the new seat and reworked foot pegs and levers. On asphalt, the Rally is just as brilliant. With the whole machine having been lightened, it is incredibly light on its feet and as agile as a supermoto could get. Lighter wheels and reduced weight sand springs facilitate easier direction changes. But in terms of cruisers, the Rally doesn't feel like a rally machine due to amazing technology and development that went into the new suspension. It is well supported, unlike some bikes that wobble under hard braking in the early stages of their strokes, whereas the Rally is, even when those meaty Brembo binders are applied. Even with rubber that tends toward off-road, the huge Duke is content to ride about at 70 miles per hour without concern because an Öhlins steering damper makes things considerably more stable than such a large vehicle should be at higher speeds. Although there is some sway and a little amount of covering from the elements, the screen is not movable and isn't the most comfortable for extended rides. The 937cc L twin engine is common to the Ducati Multistrada V2, the Ducati Supersport, and the Ducati Monster, as it is in the Rally. Smaller gearing and different ratios, as on the standard model, aid its acceleration and ability off-road, but 5th and 6th are little more than overdrive. The L twin is equally prepared for tarmac action. It is pretty docile in the urban and touring modes, just cruising along at single-digit speeds with a much more mild power delivery. Also silky smooth in running down single-digit speeds. In addition to being a blast to run through all the speeds, the quickshifter has a wonderfully Testastrada-like immediacy when in sport mode, but, due to that long, steep gearing, it's also whisper quiet on the interstate. Like the original DesertX, it's just as good in the dirt and a radically different machine depending on the riding mode and riding aids deployed. With the aids on and power chopped in enduro mode, the Rally makes a very cool and reasonable power delivery that feels steady and in control. The other end of the scale enduro mode, maximum power, everything off? This is a wild, thrilling bike that simply adores tearing through trickier, slower sections in a gear or two too high, and pushing the envelope to dart sides and forwards. You can get away with using the gearbox very lazily, too, because there's so much torque available. But not the best for long journeys in the saddle, because this is a pretty fuel-hungry bike which won't give much into the low range of 30s mpg mark if you turn the throttle a bit aggressively.